Fox 2's Randy Wimbley joining us live with more on tonight's vote. Randy.
Hey guys, the CEO of the company tells me that 3 of those security guards are retired or former cops. One of them is a current military police officer and another a retired Detroit fire captain with experience in school and corporate security. The plan is to start with 5 armed guards and expand to 8.
It's a start. We have to start somewhere. And as easy as these schools are to get into, having somebody on site who could possibly stop it sooner than our police department would be great.
Stephanie Reedon is breathing a bit easier after the Anchor Bay School Board voted to bring in private security. The board approved a 3-year contract worth nearly $250,000 annually with the Fortis Group to provide armed security guards at its schools in addition to its 3 school resource officers and 4 unarmed security guards.
To fill that void, we can have these people and move them around in such a way that we're covering all of our buildings, so at least somebody is always there.
Superintendent Phil Jankowski says the district was planning to add more surveillance equipment and emergency alert systems if voters approve the bond proposal in November. But there is a more immediate demand for security.
And the number one concern I've had from parents has been, what are you doing in the meantime?
The answer was the Fortis Group, a company ran by 3 brothers with police and military experience. We spoke with CEO Brian Bastinelli by phone.
If you have a hyperviolent, deranged individual that's set out to mass kill people in a targeted attack, the only thing that's going to be able to stop that person if they make it through any security layers that might be in place is a good person with a firearm.
The mass shooting at the elementary school in Uvalde, Texas, and the shooting at Oxford High School, right here in Southeast Michigan, factored heavily in the district's efforts to beef up security. Dominic Venditelli says Wednesday's decision is only the first step.
I don't think that this is a gun problem with school violence. I think this is a mental health issue. I think kids of today are not like the kids of yesterday, and that there's serious deterioration in mental health due to a lot of cultural factors. And I think that we should be, in addition to what we're doing today, or what they're doing today rather, also make more attempts to focus in on mental health to make sure that we get that resolved so we don't have this issue going forward.
John DeRue, the only board member to vote no on the contract, says Chesterfield PD would have been a better fit to provide armed security, even though it might have cost the district more money. On top of that, he says Anchor Bay has not vetted the Fortis Group contractors who will be working in their schools.
School starts next week. We got a piece of paper with their names on it. We don't know who they are, but we know the police officers of Chesterfield Township Police. So I don't think it was too much to ask to wait another week or two to really go sit down with them, have a finance committee meeting, and see if we can afford it.
Now, guys, the CEO of the company says all of the guards have been fully vetted and they've been trained specifically to work in educational environments and institutions. Now, the superintendent of Anchor Bay School says he wants these guards to be fully ingratiated and involved in the life and culture of Anchor Bay schools. He says they'll wear polo shirts and khakis, not kit or tactical gear. Roop, Taryn.
Yeah, Randy, to John's point, that board member who's saying, hey, you know, what do we know about the Fortis Group? What do we know about where they currently are? Is the Fortis Group in other districts right now?
Well, they are in one other district. They're working right now in the Huron Valley School District, so this will be their second school district in the Southeast Michigan region.